It's a political thriller based in Maharashtra where there is a father-daughter fight for power in many ways. It is multi-layered. I've seen the first and the second season, and as I look forward to the third season, I am being joined by the characters of this fascinating, absolutely delightful city of dreams. Atul Kulkarni plays the role of Amey Rao Gaikwad Saheb. And is he actually Sharad Pawar of Maharashtra politics? I'm going to ask that question to him. We have Priya Bapat, who plays the role of Purnima Gaikwad. Is she Supriya Sule of Maharashtra? And Sachin, who plays the role of Chief Minister Jagdish Gurav. Sachin, how should I define you in this series? In the first and the second season, you come across as this very affable man. But what really changes?
Well, he was never good. You know, if you say this, that he was a good man but turned into a bad man, nothing like that really happens. Whatever you are, you are. Only thing is that it reveals to you, and then you realize that, oh, he's not such a good man, not a good guy. You know what I mean? So that is what is this character, most unpredictable character. And I would define Jagdish Gurav in one word, that he's a survivor.
So if it is about survival of the shrewdest, who is the shrewdest of them all? Sahib?
I think it is a competition between these three people to prove who is more shrewd.
Sahib, who are you in season 3?
Let me just first clear the air from where you started. Let us not take away the credit from our wonderful writers, Nagesh and Rohit. So this is a complete work of fiction. So though because it happens in Bombay, we should not be connecting it with the real politicians, and it is not, because it is not, and it is a complete work of fiction. Having said that, I think at the end of second season, as we have seen, the drama is very high, but the spirit of the characters is at its lowest. And now from here to start their journey again was and must have been a really great challenge for our writers. But they took their time to write the third season, and they have written it really well, I think. And it was really very easy for the actors then to get into the third season.
And what makes Sahib and his daughter, reach a point where they can have an amicable working solution?
Let me start with this, that though politics is in the background, this is a family drama. This is about relationships. Politics just happens to be their profession. This very well could have happened in, let us say, a big industry. So what we have seen, as I said, in the first season, my son dies, and my daughter is responsible for that. In the second season, my daughter's son dies, and in a way, I am responsible for that. And now, in the entire family, it is only this father and his daughter that are left. And and that is why I am calling this a family story, a family drama, more than a political drama, because now it is just these two people, and they may hate each other, they may love each other, but they just cannot ignore each other. And that is where it starts. And that is why there is a possibility of an amicable, solution between these two. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Priya, you are so real in many ways, because as a political journalist, I've tracked life stories of so many politicians, and I realize how difficult it is for women politicians in particular. Their battles are very different from men. And also in your family drama or political thriller, it plays out just as it does in real life. So
I'm glad this you find it relatable, but I don't feel that this is limited to only politics. I think for every woman in every field, her struggle and her battle would definitely be different from a man. Because the kind of responsibilities she has, the battles that she has to fight from home till her workplace. I mean, it's history. I mean, every time we see this, that every woman, even me, even when I decide to step out of home and work, I have to take care of my household routine and discipline, and I have to think about it. A man, a lot of times, I'm not generalizing this, but a lot of times it doesn't occur to a man that I have to run a house. A woman is trying to fight every battle possible in her life. And I think it's not only politics, that probably every woman who wants to do something passionately and who is very ambitious about her career, her profession, will have to fight a similar battle like Purnima Gaikwad.
So what does it change for Purnima Gaikwad here? Hi Ajaz, welcome to this conversation.
Hi.
Wasim Khan Saheb, Assalamualaikum, thank you so much.
I was having some technical difficulties, sir.
So thank you so much for joining us. But yes, Purnima, continue.
Sorry,
Someone
what was the question?
has the reputation of working in Marathi film industry in particular, and then makes a transition into web series of this nature. How has the journey been for you?
Very overwhelming, and I'm very, very grateful to Nagesh Kukunoor for trusting me and trusting the talent in me, the actor in me, that he saw the potential that I could pull off Purnima Gaikwad. And I think every actor who wants to, break the routine work and do something different is definitely seeking somebody like this in their professional life who will trust them, who will trust their abilities and cast them beyond their personalities, beyond their regions, beyond their languages, and just trust the talent that the actor has. So I'm very grateful to Nagesh sir, because I think people really started taking me seriously as an actor after the second season came in. It didn't even happen after the first season. It happened after the second season. I definitely saw a drastic change in the way scripts came to me, the parts that were approached to me, the approach of the casting directors changed. I mean, the way they call you, the parts that they narrate to you. And now when they call me, I know that they have called to test me and they're not doing a random test. They want to test me. So I think that shift has happened, and it's I'm very grateful and very happy that this has happened.
Yes, and what really changed for Wasim Khan, an aggressive character throughout, Ajaz, you have moved away from being an encounter cop to a politician, and you make that transition because of this central character in many ways, because this series, as I have read it and watched it couple of, for season 1 and 2, will have Saheb and his daughter Purnima Gaikwad as central, and just about every character is moving around it. It's life being weaved into it. So what makes you so aggressive, and what changes for you in season 3?
Unfortunately, I can't delve into a lot of things of what is happening to season 3. But you see the same kind of aggression that Wasim has from season 1. Of course, the frustration is less. In season 1, he was really frustrated with where he was stuck. He really wanted to break the mold of being only an encounter specialist. He was looking to go ahead in life, and he was held back. And that is why he decided that he wanted to be a part of the power structure, as in a part of the political arena, more than just a soldier. So you'll see in season 3 where finally he takes himself and what logical step he takes, especially after the cliffhanger of the end of season 2, where Purnima Gaikwad loses a son. Wasim is also a single father. Wasim realizes what it would feel like to lose an offspring, and what decision he takes, which leads him into a certain, I won't say a different sphere of his career, but a more calmer, a more sensible, a more wiser sphere in his character. You'll see that in season 3.
Sachin, since you have said in your recent interview that just about every person, every character has several shades, and the shades of gray are more prominent than the blacks and the whites. So, in your own personal journey, which begins in the world of cinema to moving to OTT, how has it been?
It's been a wonderful experience as far as the journey is concerned. And OTT definitely is the new part of this journey, which is very interesting. I always have enjoyed new things happening in my field, right from the word black and white, if you have heard it.
Yes.
Because it is no, because now it is very, very rare that people recognize this name called black and white, because there is more of gray.
Yes.
But having said that, I feel that from black and white to color was a very big revolution, and so on and so forth. Right from that revolution to this revolution of OTT coming into the in the forefront, and though it has always been an audio-visual, thing for me, whether it was a film or an OTT, but the way you tell the story in OTT is entirely different to how the story is told in a film or on a television show.
How is it different? Because it is about storytelling at the end of the day. How does it differ?
Absolutely right. It is storytelling, but you see, I have already given this example, but which I definitely like very much. That's why I might as well repeat myself in this. Like in one house, like I stay with my mother, my wife, and my daughter. All three are my family, right? I'm son to one, husband to one, and father to one. Okay. When I am with my mother, my approach and I love all three. But when I am with my mother, my way of speaking with her or understanding her, or she at times even scolds me and I take it. The same thing cannot be repeated with my wife, and same thing cannot be repeated with my daughter. So there is a difference, though it is the same thing as far as the love is concerned and everything, but your approach, your the way you look at it is entirely different. OTT is today's language of storytelling, I feel, in which you have to be very particular. Like I tell you, film making or a film is a director's medium. Stage is an actor's medium. Likewise, OTT is a writer's medium. This is a major difference in these three medias. So, because why I say stage is an actor's media, because however good or bad or whatever the writer must have written or the director must have directed the actor, but when he goes on the stage, the writer or the director cannot do you know what I mean? He has the whole control. He can speak whatever he wants to, and nobody can stop him. He may not be there in the next show. That is a different thing altogether.
That's too much of honesty, Sachin. Atul ji, mujhe ye bataye, why should I watch season 3?
Because you have watched 2 seasons, and let me ask you this: would you watch season 3 after having seen the end of season 2?
Yeah, I might just finish it tonight itself.
Exactly. You have your answer. You have your answer, because see,
no, but that is because
fantastic...
I am someone who loves political thrillers. Tell me, what is it different for somebody who has not seen it at all? Why should that person make an effort in watching season 3? Because he has to also watch 1 and 2. Yeah.
So let me begin with one thing, that Disney Plus Hotstar has made the first season free. So all the 10 episodes you can watch for free. So that is reason number one. Why should you start watching City of Dreams? And when the second season came out, people went and saw the first season and then the second season, because second season was talked about so much. There was a fantastic mouth publicity of second season amongst the people. And I think, because I have got tons of messages after the second season, that when are you going to, show me the third season? That shows the kind of, expectations that people have. And if, let me
how
tell
does
you,
Mr. Kukunoor actually work? In the sense that, has he figured out all the seasons, or he concentrates only on one season and then leaves it, unsaid towards the end? Or does he always, he's already decided what will be season 4?
he had the first 2 seasons kind of in his mind, because when he narrated me the first season, he had kind of, but when I'm saying that, it is a rough structure. But as far as the third season is concerned, he absolutely did not have any idea as to where he's going to take his character.
Okay. And Priya, if there is a woman as a central character, and I'm saying it again and again, we have a number of regional parties which are women driven. You have Mayawati leading BSP, you have a Mamata Banerjee leading Trinamool Congress. There are so many women politicians, and it's fascinating time for women politicians and women in general, the times that we live in. Does it also mean that OTT is opening up to women very differently? They are viewing women in different roles very differently.
Yes, and I think that is because the answer that Sachin sir gave, it is not about any political or a social situation. It is about, because we have good writers. We have good writers telling stories about different people in different situations, and also trusting the ability of the lead characters being women now.
Yes, and being comfortable with it.
Which Atul had mentioned in our previous interviews, which I really, really like. And that point is very important, that City of Dreams is a story about a woman who breaks through from her monotonous housewife zone and becomes a chief minister of Maharashtra. Is a story in the patriarchal society, in the family that she's born and brought up in the society that she's born and brought up in. The story is written by 2 men.
Yes, so
that's a very interesting thing
talking about that. It's all right to have the woman as the central lead, and Atulji and Sachin sir to accept, and even Ajaz to accept that they can be roles around her.
Yeah. But I don't think it's only that. I firstly don't think that it's only Purnima Gaikwad's story. I feel that first, politics is a backdrop, is a profession, and I'm not being politically correct. I'm just saying that I genuinely feel it's a story of, see, you have to hold one thread and then go, right? You can't have every story at the forefront. But all your other supporting stories, if they don't contribute well, that central story won't work at all. So for your central characters, which is a family, which is a Gaikwad family, because you see that the equation and the drama keeps changing. It is first the brother and the sister, then the father and the daughter, and now it's the Gaikwad versus the other enemies, especially Gaurav, especially Divya. I mean, I forgot the name of her character. Vibha. So I think that's the storyline. And most importantly, City of Dreams, politics is one thread that we hold on to, because we have to give people one thread to, narrate a entire story. But there are also other elements that other stories that are being told. I mean, it's not only about this season. Even in the first season, we had Ejaz's separate track with that girl. Then there was, in the second season, we had a Tanya's track, which was a completely independent track. We had a Purushottam's track, which was an independent track. Though they were sometimes, through Ejaz in the first season, they were all linked. Then through Purushottam, they were linked. So I think all these stories have their independent standing, and together they contribute in the Gaikwad family story. And so you think that the Gaikwad family story is at the forefront.
Okay.
Maria, I think, this whole debate pitching films against OTT, one must understand the difference between economics of the whole thing, because films are like one dish meal. If you don't like it, you just throw away your entire meal. And OTT platforms are like, buffet. So you can take your risks. If you like Chinese, of course, you have Chinese. If you like Italian, there is Italian. And it is about economics, because in the books of accounts, in a film, it is either a hit or a flop or an average, and that's it. You close the books of the account. In the case of OTT, you have hundreds of shows. You have hundreds of films. You have hundreds of documentary on one platform. And the books of accounts get balanced. And that is why you can take the risks. So I think we must understand this economics of the whole thing, and really stop this unfair comparison between film mein nahi hota hai, lekin OTT mein hota hai. No, it is bound to be there, because OTT has more space to take the risks, unlike films.
That's actually very well put, Atulji. I'll start wrapping this conversation, but before that, let me take a quick word also from Wasim. Wasim, as someone who has not seen, just hypothetically saying, someone who has not seen season 1 and 2 and wants to get into this, just press the remote button. Why should I watch this season 3? What is so fascinating?
I wouldn't advise somebody to directly delve into season 3 without getting into season 1 and season 2, because you won't understand the beauty of the small nuances that are coming in season 3. When you ask what is different in season 3, trust me, when I read the first episode of season 3, I was like, what? What is this? This is what Purnima is going to be doing. This is what we are going to be doing. This is where we're going to be going. And I actually messaged Priya, have you read episode 1? So it is that different. I would strongly advise.
What he meant was that he would strongly advise to see season 1 and season 2 and then go for season 3.
Yeah, so he's strongly advising everybody to watch it. Okay, let's start wrapping this conversation, and I'm going to begin with Sachin. Sachin, there has been a lot of debate also around censorship on OTT. Would you like to get into it, particularly about what we have seen? There were, a lot of reservations regarding Purnima being a lesbian, and the entire debate.
I don't think we should take a step back. OTT platform is liked by people more and more. Like when it started, our first season was long back, 5 years back. Time has changed. Even the number of audience has increased on OTT. People who are watching it are more and more and more, and they're liking it as it is. I think instead of censorship, it should be the people who should be more responsible in showing what really they want. And I have not had any kind of bad experience watching Priya in this character. Even those scenes which she had, I was rather busy looking at her expressions. What a fabulous actor she is. More of my interest was there. So that is what is more important. You see, the other things, this is a way of storytelling on OTT. I mean, some things you probably, this kind of storytelling cannot happen in films, which can happen here. That is the difference, and you have to accept that difference with open arms.
Okay, so it is about self-regulation. If you don't like, change the remote. That is your view. Atulji, what do you think is best? I mean, obviously it's a new platform. A lot of people are liking it. Many say that it is also because during lockdown and during the COVID period, all of us were home. We almost became drawn into a new space, which was a Netflix and Hotstar and Amazon Prime. that entire transition for several people who have been theater actors to television and then cinema and finally OTT?
This particular medium is technology based. As Sachinji was saying, from black and white up to here. So it's as the technology is going to change, our medium is going to change. Right now, we are talking about OTT. But for all you know, within 2 years, we'll be talking about something completely different. And we'll forget what OTT was, actually. So technology is developing really fast. I think as an actor, it is my duty to understand what is going on. I am very closely following what artificial intelligence is doing, for example. The kind of videos that it is producing only when you give it just a text prompt. So I think we actors have always, dealt with this. And who better person than Sachinji to agree with this? But we all, yeah.
Then in terms of AI changing the world of politics, what do you think will change?
No, it will change the entire world. And that's why, see, what is politics? Politics is about people. Politics is about information given to people. And AI is about giving information to the people or people trying to find information. So that is going to change. How? We still don't know, because every country is following it in a very different way. And they are having their own regulations. And then, of course, it also depends on the cross-section of the entire country, because not that everyone is going to get access to AI so easily, especially in a country like India. So it is going to be very different, and we have to be extremely vigilant, especially the media, because you will be hit the hardest.
Yes. Hardest by multiple things.
I just heard that Dubai has the first AI, RJ, who conducts the entire program for 3 hours.
Yes, that's true, actually. Priya, you get the final word, being the woman on the panel and also the beautiful Purnima Gaikwad. How's life changed?
I'm waiting for to hear the response about the third season, because I want to see it change drastically. It changed a little after second season. Now I want to see the huge change after the third season. Now what people react to it and how they respond to it. But I'm very happy. I mean, the last 1.5 years has been really good in terms of work, because as I said, after the second season, people really took the actor in me very seriously here. And I don't blame anyone, because they need to see you perform. They need to see your work for them to believe in you. And that's why I always say that I'm very grateful to Nagesh Kukunoor for giving me this opportunity, and of course, applause.
Okay, let me also play the spoiler here. Will there be season 4?
We wish there would be, but we don't know it yet.
I want season 4.
You want season 4?
Now I don't know whether Nagesh will agree with me or not.
Okay.
Maria, we want you to watch the third season and then let us know what you want to see the fourth season. What happens to
we are
political drama. Yes, Atul.
No, Maria, we are into business. So if there is demand, there will be supply.
I'm sure. Wasim, season 4?
Yeah.
All for it?
I wish I could say something, but I can't.
Okay. Thank you so much and all the best.
You will get a lot of it.
Thank you.
For all those of us who have watched season 1 and 2, we are definitely looking forward to this one. It's a fascinating story which has been told by characters who have performed and outperformed themselves in every season. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maria.
So much.
Thank you.